Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. So today we're over on the test server on the free-to-play account and ultimately looking at what is coming with the patches, guys. So there are going to be some changes to the Arcane Labyrinth. Ultimately, you have two choices here. You have the normal labyrinth and you have the Dismal Labyrinth. The Dismal Labyrinth does offer more loot, but it does come at a cost. It is very, very difficult. So they've actually made this a little bit easier, which this will be included in the patch. That is coming live on Tuesday. So right here, you already have friends or guildmates that have become Dismal Masters that are able to reduce the Dismal Maze's difficulty. So as you go through and you finish out the Dismal Maze, according to the patch notes, it says Dismal Maze mode now includes a mutual assistance function. When a player does not use Dur's Tears to complete at least 4 multi-team battles, that player will become a Dismal Master, giving them the ability to help other maze goers. So right here, in addition, if you don't do the labyrinth or if you miss it one time, they do give you an 80% bonus to the loot that you're getting in there. Depending on your VIP level, this can be 100% bonus for the loot that is going in the Dismal Maze. So let's go ahead and we'll join here. Now, like I was saying, it does come with some very, very tough debuffs. This is what you really have to look at. And I cannot stress this enough, guys. If you are earlier into AFK Arena, when you unlock the Dismal Maze, a majority of the time, it's going to be too difficult for you to complete. So you actually get in here, you'll complete a floor, maybe 2, maybe get to the 3rd floor, struggle through it. But for most players that are just new to the Dismal Maze, you cannot make it through there because you lack the heroes ultimately to go ahead and make it through. So here, the permitted factions, we can only use light bearers, which again, pretty limited to it. It gives you the whole entire list there, but we have light bearers, we have wilders, celestials, and dimensionals. So if you look at this from an earlier perspective, when this actually opens, you might have some well-built light bearer heroes. You might have a couple wilder team comps in there. Celestials, you might have 1 or 2, probably not even maxed out depending where you are to Ascended. You might even have 1 or 2 Dismal heroes. So ultimately going through here, you do have to win out the battles with the selected factions, which could limit your choices of heroes. On top of that, when you hit the 3rd floor, you have to fight 2 teams. So when you get to the 2 team comps, not only do you only get to use these factions, but now you have to build 2 teams from the factions that you have. On top of that, with the Dismal Maze, boom, they do have debuffs. So it takes effect from floor 1. Allied heroes that have their souls reaped by the god within 2.5 seconds of their health falling below 25%. So based on this one, and the debuffs do change, you're ultimately going to have support in here. You're probably going to look at Rowan. You're probably going to look at Nomura, possibly Taylene in here, because ultimately you're going to have heals to keep those heroes above that 25% mark, or they're going to be done. And the debuffs are cumulative, meaning that once we have the Reaper's Touch, when we hit floor 2, reduces allies' health regeneration by 50%. So this is a very tough combination of the two, because 1, if you hit that 25% mark, you're instant dead. Now your health regeneration is reduced by 50%, which further makes the debuff harder. Then, of course, allied frontline heroes are banished for 5 seconds at the start of battle, during which they cannot attack or be attacked, meaning that the enemy team is going to come straight to your back line because the frontline heroes are going to be banished for the first 5 seconds. You can use artifacts to counter this, but ultimately you're going to have a difficult time with this round of debuffs. So we're going to go ahead. We are going to enter the Dismal Maze. Notice you are about to enter it. You can only use 1 maze mode, confirm to enter. There we go, guys. So we are in. So once we're here, so this is the 1st floor. There is our 2 Dismal Masters. So when you get into the Dismal Maze, it's really good to plan how you're going to do this, guys. And I really stress it from the beginning. A lot of players still say that the Dismal Maze is very, very difficult. So on the 1st floor, we have a couple artifacts. We have the Ancient Protector, and we also do have the Scales of Benevolence. Ultimately, we're going to go with the Ancient Protector. All allied heroes receive a shield at the beginning of battle, which exists for 10 seconds. that is able to mitigate damage equal to 50% of their max health. Remember, when you're choosing artifacts, guys, the debuffs you're going to get, we have to keep our heroes, and I really stress it again, we have to keep our heroes above that 25% or they're going to be killed. This is going to be something to help us essentially offset the debuff that we're going to get in here. Looking at the other one, mitigates 70% of the damage taken by the weakest ally. The mean of the value mitigated is then borne by other allied heroes. So essentially, if one hero takes a bunch of damage, it's going to be spread among the other allies, which could be a good offset as well. But depending on the heroes you're running, because in here I would run an Ainz comp, essentially with Rowan, and with running with Rowan and running with Talene would be the ideal comp to run in here. So looking at our Dismal Masters, so here is our 2 Dismal Masters. They've already helped players one time. They have not helped anyone. So completing multi-stages 4 times without using the Dur's Tears or Demon Breakers to become a Dismal Maze Master. So let's look at the Demon Breaker. There we go. Select an active Dismal Luck effect to dispel. So we have 3 abilities here. You can actually get rid of one of these. So again, when the Dismal Maze came out, it was very, very tough to deal with. You actually couldn't, super difficult to get through here. They nerfed it down a little bit. They gave you the option to skip battles. They've given you the option, a couple different options. They've even reworked a couple things to allow a couple different fountains in here when you get to floor 2 and 3. You can exchange relics in here. There's been a ton of changes in here, including being able to use 6 of 6. You can use Dismal Tears in here to ultimately make it easier to get through the Dismal Maze, guys. So Lilith knows that it was a sticking point with it being very difficult, and they made it a lot easier to get through the maze. So Demon Breaker, after using the Demon Breaker, the base amount of gold and EXP produced by the remaining tiles will be reduced by 50%. So you do not want to use this until you get far into the Dismal Maze, until you've gotten to the point where you're using your tears, or when you're going ahead and stuck at progression, because essentially the gold and the EXP is really what you want out of here. There's our gold, there's our EXP. If you're cutting that by 50% right off the bat, or floor 1, or even into floor 2, the rest of the Dismal Maze, you're going to get a 50% reduction to the gold and the EXP, which again is the main reason why we're in here, guys. If you end up using that Demon Breaker, depending where you use it, it would be a lot more beneficial to go through the regular lab versus the Dismal Maze. Ultimately, without taking the debuffs, you can also go ahead and refresh the current formations. And again, Lilith has given us so many different ways to run through this Dismal Maze. Even here we got Rain over on the side. Completing the challenge below gives you the power to help others. So this is what you need. Complete 4 multi-team battles, which the multi-team battles appear in the 3rd floor. And do not use any Dur's Tears. Do not use any Demon Breakers. So essentially with the multi-team battles, there are only 4 in here, guys. So you have to defeat all 4 while you're in here. Not sure if it's going to recycle over to the next one, but ultimately looking in here, so we would go through, we would pick up the shield, then you come to an impasse, because we'll actually go here, and then boom. So we have 2 choices here as well. 1, War Axe of Courage, which is going to give us a lot more damage. 2 is going to be a crowd control ability. First time an ultimate ability is used by an ally, you put the enemies to sleep for 4 seconds, which again, depending on the debuffs you got, that will help a lot to get through here, guys. Because ultimately, you want to go through here, you want to be able to maximize your relics in here, you want to maximize the formations with the heroes you have, but ultimately, you want to maximize the loot you get out of here, guys. We are running this for the loot, and there is our help button, guys. So if we request assistance from somebody, so is our logs, our assistance, and our mutual assistance to our 2 friends here that can help us out. Guys, so that is the changes that are coming to the Dismal Maze. If you guys are not running it yet, again, there's a lot more loot to be had in the Dismal Maze. especially when it comes to the piles and piles and piles of loot that you get out of here. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you guys are running the Dismal Maze, are you excited about the changes? Because there are a lot that are coming on Tuesday. So again, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.